cultivators, and welcome back to Cultivation Podcast.
Cultivation Corner.
Cultivation Corner. I'm here with Steve from I Love Plants.
What's up?
And Richie from Grow Folds.
Hello.
And so I'm very excited. This is it's an interesting topic. So we will be talking about, well, it's interesting and fun.
Yeah.
Basically what got us into plants. I know we need a little bit of credibility since y'all probably like, who are y'all? Why are you talking to us about plants? Well, we have our own, I guess, unique stories and just what got us into plants and why why we continue to do it. So I guess I'm going to start with you, Steve, and just tell us a little bit what was your first plant? You did mention in a previous episode.
Yes.
What was your first plant? Why? And then why have you continued to do it?
All right. So what's up, y'all? My first plant was a Chinese evergreen, Aglaonema Chinese evergreen. It's a ruby. Queen Ramona, for those who follow the channel. But what got me into it? Okay, so I moved to Dallas, Texas from New York. And, those that know me personally, work has always taken me from one city to another, and then even my own sort of mental insecurities have led me and pushed me out of certain cities sometimes. And I was adamant in Dallas being a home for me. Okay, so what I needed was something that was, number one, going to root me into a city and make it hard for me to leave. And number two, give me the reason to literally open up my blinds in the morning because, a lot of you guys know, maybe some of you don't know, that I counsel people as well. And when we talk about mental health, this is something that if you have a mind and you can think, you can use some mental health fitness. Let's just put it like that, okay? And for me on this journey, plants gave me a reason to open up my blinds. I lived in darkness for a long time, and I mean that literally and figuratively. I would wake up and not open up the blinds.
Wow.
Yeah, like literally, I would be in darkness. And, my jobs in the past, I had to motivate people. I still do that till this day. But as a personal trainer, I would leave my house, put on a smiley face, say, hey, you can do it. And then go back home and in darkness and lay on the couch and really have nothing else to go on, to move on about my life. I got here and I said, to hell with that. I am going to live. And plants was one of the reasons why I'm living today, because I'm letting light into my house. I'm letting light into my life.
I love that. That's beautiful. Richie.
Well, yeah, what got me into plants, but I wanted to just piggyback with Steven. That is a wonderful story. And, for all of the cultivators that are watching today, for our viewers, I do urge everybody to just leave in the comment section too about your plant stories, what got you into plants. We really like that interaction as well. We want to see this channel grow, but we want to grow alongside with you. So I want to go ahead and make sure that everybody is also involved and interactive in the comment section. Just let us know about your stories. But I guess to go back to why I've gotten into plants, I think for me, it has to be my grandmother. On my YouTube channel at Grow Folds, I always talk about my grandmother and how she was really the source of inspiration for getting into plants. And I think as a child, I just remember seeing my grandmother grow plants so effortlessly. And I remember watching her garden, and I went up to her, and I think I was like 6 years old or somewhere around that range. And I mentioned how, grandma, or I call her Lola, which is Filipino for grandmother. I said, you have such a green thumb. I wish I had a green thumb. And something that resonated to me till this very day is the fact that she turned around and said that apo, which means grandson, she said, everybody has a green thumb, but it's just a matter of having that dedication and passion for plants. And I don't know, I just got into it because I would just see those routines she has. And when you think about, at least when I think about how she will be turning 90 years old in 2025 next year, a lot of her health has to come in with plants. And, to go back to what Stephen was mentioning, plants really give us that wellness. I mean, for me, I just turned 42 this year, and last year I actually had a really bad bout of just anxiety. It was something very new to me. It's something that in the Philippines, at least in Asian cultures, at least Filipinos, we don't really talk about mental health. And I turned to plants to really ground me, to bring me that joy, to give me that obsession, so I have a little bit of OCD tendencies. And instead of putting that energy into a negative thought, I would obsess about plants. I would literally say that I have a plant addiction, but that addiction is actually really good for me, because then I am focused on something that's productive, something that is, garnering life. And then I'm also growing with plants. As far as plants are concerned, as far as what got me into it, it definitely has to be my grandmother. But then what continues to be a driving force as to why I'm into plants, it's obviously the community. I think that there's this, the world is round and the universe is always spinning and turning. But I'm really thankful because, when you talk about how Cultivation Corner has really formed, I remember seeing Janae Simone pop up on my recommendations. And then all of a sudden I was at this local nursery called Rubal's, and I remember meeting Janae and saying, "Hey, Janae." And I'm pretty sure she probably thought I was like a creeper at the time, but it's just interesting how even the plant community, how this all, this plant podcast has just even started, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
I don't know. It's just interesting. And I just really hope that our viewers can see that there's a lot of passion and everybody's stories are heard about why we get into plants. So, yeah.
And I love that. Basically, our obsession or whatever you want to call it with plants led us to be together for this podcast.
Yes.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that story too. And almost to piggyback off of that, my mom, she had plants. Like growing up, she would have them throughout the house. But obviously I was like young. I didn't know much about it until I started collecting in 2020. And I don't know, I guess for me, especially like when just life is busy and then owning a business and just having those days where you're just tired and being able to come home to something, I don't know. So I was getting excited to come home to plants.
Yeah.
And I guess when I started realizing that, I was like, wow, like it's not just a plant, it's actually a living organism. This is something I can cultivate, something I can, appreciate its stage where it's at and, help it to grow. And I guess the more I started realizing that, I just fell in love with the plant hobby even more. And then of course, like starting to collect more. And it just, I say this a lot on my channel, it just brings me like just peace and comfort. And when your hands are touching the soil, I don't know, in a way it almost like grounds me. It feels, and that's coming from someone, my friends are probably like, "Janae, you're lying, you hate germs." Yes, I do. And I don't like sticky stuff, none of that.
Oh my goodness.
But soil, I love it. And yeah, just, I don't know, it just feels grounding, and it makes
Mother Earth.
Yes.
Mother Earth.
I love it. And just being able to, I don't know, see them just, grow more and thrive. And then like Richie said, the plant community too. The plant people are so nice.
They really are.
Like literally so nice. I'll be on like your live chat feeds and just how people come together through the internet, and then like meeting y'all as well, and always just sharing plants and cuttings. I don't know, it just makes it all worth it. So I really love that.
Yeah, the plant community is really, really nice. This is kind of like the first, putting yourself out there, right?
Yes.
With something new, especially, I did not know how to take care of a plant. Okay, so yeah, what got me into plants was one thing, but then what do I do with it since it's here, and right? I think, listening to both of you guys' stories, right? You've mentioned important people in your lives that sort of had a history. You have it in your blood, so to speak, basically. Right? And it reminded me of my grandmother, because my grandmother collected plants as well. My grandmother passed away when I was 5 years old, so I have fond pictures of her in my mind. Okay, One of the things that I did not know was that she was so much of a green thumb. Okay. And the thing about me with my plants is, first of all, I have not killed a plant. Well, I killed Figgy about a week ago when I came.
R.I.P. Figgy.
R.I.P. Figgy. But
Figgy's in plant heaven.
She's in plant heaven.
Okay.
But, you know, kind of wasn't, well, it was my fault, but it wasn't my fault. I was away for 2 weeks. But anyway, when I'm home, when I'm present, I do a really, really good job taking care of my plants. Okay? And one of the things that I'm aware of is that I have my grandmother's green thumb. You know, like, I really believe that it is passed down. I really believe that, you know, the connection is passed down from, you know, in terms of what you like and what fills you. You know, it's passed down through generations. Yeah. And so, you know, hearing Richie, you talk about your grandmother, Janae, you talk about your mother, you know, those are really important pieces, sort of in what got you into plants, even if it was self-consciously part of that decision, right?
Yeah.
I think what gets people into plants, it just comes naturally. There's something that happens either in your childhood or a life event that makes you pivot to plants, because you know, plants are everywhere. I think a lot of times we take for granted that as soon as you step outside, there is a living organism that, you know, as Janae says about these plants. And it's just interesting to see people's stories about what got us into plants. You know, it's always a replay for me. It's always my grandmother that got me into plants. And I hope, you know, through my plant journey, through this whole process of sharing my story, our stories with the cultivators, I could be as half as good and as a plant parent as my grandmother. Because when I talk about her being able to multiply these plants, I mean, she was pretty prolific. She had 10 children and she was able to raise them, but she also has like 200 plants that she literally propagates multiple times, and it's a routine. And I think what plants are for me now, you know, I got into plants because of my grandmother, but I think what continues to bring me to plants, for me to grow plants, to share that passion, is really the routines, our daily lives. You know, mental health is something that can be considered a taboo to talk about, at least in, you know, my culture. It's like one of those things where people say you can either pray about it, sleep it off, or talk about it. But there are other things that you have to do for yourself, and plants really, I think, just really foster a really good mental health. And that's something that I am okay with, being vulnerable in sharing my story. I know that there are even other notable plant influencers that have suffered through some mental health challenges. I wouldn't even say issues, because when you say issues, then it becomes a problem. It's not an issue. It's who you are. And you know, for me, it's my obsessions. I know I obsess, but I obsess on things that are productive. You know, being known as somebody that has OCD, I have a very meticulous way about going things. You know, I'll share that. Like, I like to do origami. I fold origami paper cranes every day, but it's one of those coping mechanisms I do to help, you know, foster who I am as a person. And plants actually just really enhance that. So I just wanted to put that out there as well for anybody that, yes, I am faceless, but I do want to be a little bit more transparent, at least on this podcast, to let you know that not everything is perfect. Not everything is all about that Instagram post or that reel or how many views you get. We really are into plants because there's something else that gets us to continue to that journey.
That's
I don't
true.
know. Jenny, what do you think? Like, as far as like, you know, you got into plants, but what keeps you going for plants?
When you were talking about that, one of the main things I was thinking of too, like people starting their journey or even us starting, is that basically, like, I know we like joke around and say, oh, this plant went to plant heaven or whatever, but it's like, okay, if a plant dies on you, do you just stop or do you keep going? And I think too, we have that in common. We don't let that stop us, because once you realize, like we said, it is a big part of like mental health and just, you know, cultivating that plant, seeing it grow and everything. it makes you, it like forces you in a way to just want to, do more, continue to say, oh, well, okay, it did die, but then learn from your mistakes, then try to, assess it and then go back to the drawing board and get it again. Like, just don't stop. Sometimes people who I've talked to, they get surprised, like, oh my goodness, you killed that many plants. Like, it's a part of it, honestly. It's like, it's a learning curve. Yeah. But you just have to, like, keep doing it and don't let that stop you from something that can be so just, I don't know, bring so much, like, bring so much joy and satisfaction to your life like that. So,
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've killed my share plants. Listen, I'm not trying to, I wasn't trying to toot my horn with the fact that I haven't had a plant die in a long time. Because I personify these plants with names, it actually really hurts. So the figgy passing was hard. It was hard. But, in the beginning, I had an Aglaonema Silver Bay that I overwatered and killed. I had a Pachera aquatica, a money tree, that I overwatered and killed. I had a Calathea that was sort of burning to a crisp, literally, and there was really nothing that I could do about it because I just did not have the proper humidity or lighting conditions for the plant at the time.
Calatheas are never our faults. Those are just different.
It's always their fault, okay? So
always.
It's really always...
It's one of those temptress. They're beautiful, but you're not going into my home anymore. Not for this time at this moment.
Yeah, not same here. But, that could have definitely turned me away from the process of taking care of a plant because I would have, literally internalized it and said, oh, well, you're not good at this. Look at you. You just kill, this plant and then this plant and this plant is not responding to what you're doing and you might as well just stop, right? It could have went that way for me, but I made a conscious decision to learn, and I always say this, even on my channel, I don't know it all. I'm not trying to sit here and know it, and I don't know everything, so I'm always welcoming tips from you guys, right? Like, hey, do you guys have this kind of problem with this plant? And you are always, there with, okay, well, Steve, have you tried this and all of that? I don't claim to know it all, okay? And I think that that's another thing in this plant journey that just keeps me coming back, and it's because I just want to learn more. Yes. I want to learn more. I saw so many plants when I went down to Panama that I've never seen before.
It was beautiful.
And I immediately did research on it. I got the name and I was like, I've never heard of this anthurium before. What is this? Okay. And then I looked and saw like there's like 500 different types of anthuriums.
Jeez,
like
so
literally
many.
It is so many different anthuriums. And, again, is what keeps me going in this process now, right?
Yeah.
Because, I'm getting smarter, I'm learning more, and that's making me, contribute more. And that's another thing. That's another piece of the puzzle, with mental health of, being, what's the word? It's not wanted, but it's almost like, having worth and having value, and I think that's another thing that, I'm happy to share with you all, that I feel like I'm adding value, to whatever this whole thing is on this planet, that I'm adding a little bit of value to it.
I love that. What would you say for both of y'all? What was, maybe an unexpected plant purchase that you had upon your journey collecting plants, and that also I guess helped ignite your passion too?
God, you smiling.
Gosh.
You can't see it, but he's smiling.
Because again, and then for those that are new to Cultivation Corner, I do faceless YouTube. This is the reason why you are not going to see my face. But if you continue to watch the Cultivation Corner, there might be a face reveal. But to go back to an unexpected plant purchase, I remember being a kid. I was 7 years old, and I bought a McDonald's Happy Meal. And in that Happy Meal, there was a small greenhouse enclosure and some marigold seeds. And that was the very first time I took these marigold seeds from a McDonald's Happy Meal, was able to germinate them. And then that's what actually gave me a little bit more confidence to kind of mimic my grandmother, because she has just, lots and lots of plants, but just to see, life come from that seed from a McDonald's Happy Meal, that is one of my most fondest childhood experiences. And that's really part of, if you're talking about an unexpected, plant purchase. Well, it was a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Wait, how many years ago was this?
I mean, I already told you, I turned 42 this year, so it's been quite a bit of time. But, that Happy Meal. Yeah. Can you believe a McDonald's Happy Meal with some marigold seeds got me to this whole plant journey as well.
We gotta guess, you guys.
I know. This one really likes my attention. Sweetie. I almost dropped the hat here.
She really likes you.
You almost had a face reveal.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? No, I like that. Let her do her thing.
Let her do her thing. She wants to be part of Cultivation Corner.
Well, let me think. I'm trying to think of the plant that I had that kind of reignited my love, I guess, again for plant. Is that the question?
Not to cut you off, but you do love philodendrons. So
yeah.
I guess let's start off. Okay. What made you start?
Okay, well, I tell you what. So, it was just, number one, an easy plant to take care of. Mm-hmm. Number one. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'm killing these aglanemas. I'm killing this, this money tree. What's up with a philodendron? I got a green princess.
Oh, she green.
They
just put a name on her.
Yeah, green princess. Okay, I named her Fiona from Shrek.
Fiona.
You know what I mean? But anyway, so that was the easiest plant that I've had, and it was an early plant. Mm-hmm. But it got me into philodendrons because I realized just how easy it is. Yeah. The plant that reinvigorated, sort of like, it was like not a rebirth, but just a new excitement. Mm-hmm. Was another philodendron. It was a philodendron bilietiae. And that's Billie Holiday. Again, I named all my plants. Okay,
that's so cute.
And so Billie Holiday is she's a pride and joy in the house. I mean, because she's so big, her leaves are almost about the size of my arm at this point. And
so she got a lot of muscle on her.
She got a lot of muscle on her. She
gonna flex it for us for a second?
It's not. Yes. It's not what it used to be. You guys, like, you can go to.
I live plants.
You can go to my other Instagram for what it used to look like. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. But that plant reignited. Just again, it elevated. Let's just put it like that. It elevated and took my plant journey to a different level. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? You good at this, bro. You got this. I can do this.
We can all do it.
We can all do it. Uh-huh. Now, what about you?
I would say, oh my goodness. I'm like looking at them. My Monster Esqueleto.
Oh yeah, you gave it.
Yes. She's so beautiful, but I was nervous when I first purchased her because I think it was considered rare. I didn't get it because of that. I just got it. Like the leaves, y'all. It's just beautiful. But I think because I got her, she was like 4 leaves, and when she started growing more leaves, and I put her on the pole, and just seeing that, I don't know. I think it just gave me that little extra oomph, if you will. Oh, yeah. And I was like, okay, like I don't know, like just seeing the growth and the health of it, then it gave me, I guess, more confidence in a way. Yeah. Well, definitely.
Your Esqueleto is beautiful. Janae actually gifted me a cutting, and I finally got a root.
Finally.
I finally got
That's
a root.
Exciting.
It's probably about maybe 5 inches long now, so it's gonna go into to a substrate. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna use.
Let's choose a pond.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even tell y'all. So I actually ordered lava rocks.
You're gonna try
Okay.
it,
and zeolite.
So you're gonna do it,
I'm making my own pond, yo.
and he's gonna.
Are you gonna
package
like?
some for us.
Are you gonna bust the lava rock, or is it just like gonna be the bigger?
No. It's already busted.
Oh shoot! Okay.
So
You
it's
have to
all-
send us the links.
Oh, yeah,
and we'll
I-
have that link down
Right
in the
there,
comments.
Yeah.
Cultivation
Yeah.
Corner merch.
Yeah. So maybe the Esqueleto will go into that
Oh,
substrate.
awesome. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
That's exciting.
it's such a beautiful plant. So you did
It
good with
is,
that
those
one.
leaves.
You did good with that one.
Oh, thank
I
you.
think she did good with all the plants around us right
Yeah.
here. So like,
Yeah.
Stop it.
I wish you guys could see it. Like literally, it's amazing. But yeah. Oh, so speaking of that, right? I mean, we're coming close to time, but
Yeah.
are we trying to dig into the segment of a want and a need now?
You know
Like,
we
is that what
are.
we're
Okay.
We
gonna
just
do?
need to know.
Yes.
All right, so let's. You were about to say something.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, I saw a philodendron Paradiso Verde.
Verde, okay.
Those are gorgeous.
Okay, is that a want or need?
It is a need.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why
It's
is
a
it a
need.
need, Richie?
Because it's one of those plants that it's easy to care for a philodendron, and the price is right. Like, it used to be really expensive, but if I run into a really good specimen, that would be a need, which means I need to buy it today. So it's definitely a need for me.
Ooh, that is a beautiful plant. I would say for me personally, it would be a want,
Okay.
but it is beautiful. Yeah.
Well, you know me and the philodendron. That's a need.
It's a need.
It's a need. But you know what the funny thing about that plant? I can never find it.
Really?
I never see. I mean, unless you guys, because you guys go, Richie. You're in a store every week.
You can
know
every day. I'm a plant hunter. I'm looking for those
Literally.
plant. The price needs to be right.
Listen, when you go shopping with Richie, let me tell you something about him. He would let you know if you're going shopping together if the plant is a good deal or not. Okay, and he'll say, "Put that back because I can get that for you for 15."
You know, you
Yep.
have to just find the right source. You know,
Yes,
He knows
indeed.
it all.
we don't. It's not I know it all. It's just I've seen
He
just
got-
too many
Yeah.
times where somebody, and you know, that goes to the next episodes that we're gonna be talking about is just plant taboos, things
Yeah.
that are you know kind of controversial topics, and one of that has to be just the overpricing of certain plants.
yes.
I know.
So,
Yes.
I know.
but that's for another topic. But yeah,
Another topic, another day. Stay tuned for that one for sure. Make sure you
Definitely.
see it. But I haven't seen this plant. I haven't seen this plant out. You know, not in numbers like you've seen other plants. You know, even a billietier. You know, and a tortum. Like I've seen those plants all the time, but I
Yeah.
just have not seen the
Paraíso Verde, yeah. I think it's because, you know, you don't have like big nurseries like Costa Farms or Proven Winners that have actually made mass numbers of the Paraíso Verde, but it is a beautiful plant. It's
Yeah.
definitely a need for me
Yeah.
because the plant pricing I've seen as of late, if you're able to find it, is a really good deal.
And the variegation of this plant is beautiful. I mean, it looks like one of those variegated plants.
Okay, so here's the thing about that variegation.
Tell me.
Most people think that variegation is influenced by the light. This is a unique philodendron where literally it's the climate. The more heat it gets, the more variegated it is. It's,
Wait, the more heat? The
yes,
heat?
like if it's like in a higher temperature environment is when it's going to actually push the variegation, and it's not necessarily the light. So I learned this
wow.
from
I
some
didn't know
folks that was an interesting thing. So yeah, you're going to have to make sure that it's got a little bit higher level of heat. Now, you know, for the cultivators that are watching, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that is a running topic of the Paraíso Verde. Its variegation is really influenced by more so the heat or the climate it's in.
Wow.
That's
Well,
interesting.
All right.
Again,
Interesting.
like I said, I don't know it all, so that's why I keep.
I don't
these
know
two
it
around.
either. It's just that's what I've learned as you know we
Yeah.
engage with you know our viewers and just plant people. And again, I want to make sure that we are encouraging everybody to leave comments about your stories about like what got you into plants.
Yes.
We will respond to every comment you leave.
For sure.
Hit the like button if you like this kind of content.
Yep. Subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We need the subs.
Yes, need.
It's a need.
That's
That's
a
a
need.
need, okay?
That's a
If you
need.
want us to keep producing, you need to subscribe.
Yeah, you're a need.
Don't
okay,
be a
for us
lurker.
now.
Yeah.
We have enough lurkers already.
So definitely let us know what got you into your plant collection, or if you haven't started, go ahead and do it and just let us know in the comments. We love to chat with y'all about that. But in the meantime, this is Janae from Janae Simone.
This is Steve from I Live Plants.
And this is Richie at Growfold. And we make
Cultivation Corner.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for the season finale of Cultivation Corner. This is not goodbye. It's just the beginning. This spring, we're kicking off season 2 with fresh, exciting content you won't want to miss. We'll also tackle controversial plant topics such as the hot debate around prop lifting. Like, really, where's the line between passion and piracy? Plus, we've got even more tips, laughs, and surprises. There could be a game-changing guest appearance on the horizon. However, you have to subscribe to find out. Until then, keep growing and get ready for what's next.